Alright, so today I want to talk a little bit about what I've been doing, I guess, creatively today. So, one of the things I wanted to kind of work out for the comic was Blender. That way I can, like, make 3D models of, like, the locations in the story and, have little, like, references for the characters. Because, like, I've tried, using, like, reference images from the internet, and I've even messed around with some like software that does this. Um, it's just for various reasons, not really what I need. For one, like say using something just like random pictures from Pinterest, I feel like is limiting what I can actually do because if I have to like spend a bunch of time googling a specific pose or whatever to get it right, um, it's just I don't know. It's a little harder for me. And I feel like I'm pretty decent at adapting. I think I'm pretty decent at like getting the base of a pose correct just from like a sketch, just from like looking at an image. I think I'm all right at that. But I do struggle with like taking a pose and like getting much out of it. Like if the camera angle is different. I don't know if I'm explaining this well, but I guess I'm not really. Yeah, I'm not great at changing the camera angle for poses, and I think the smart thing to do would be just to learn that. But I figured, it might be. It's definitely worth me learning how to use Blender. That's something I wanted to learn for a while, and it would definitely be worthwhile for at least one other project I want to get to at some point. Um, so I'm trying. I set out to try to do that again. I tried a little last year because there was a period last year where I was working on said project, um, and I dropped it to work on my comic instead. Um, but yeah, I just Blender is very difficult, and I feel like I spent like hour and a half on that, like just trying to figure it out, and I learned enough, I guess. But at the same time, I feel like I'm missing something because it's not as intuitive as I feel like I need it to be. Um, I'm sure I will get better with it with time, but it's very I don't know. It's frustrating for me to spend all that time on something and then not feel like it's going anywhere. Um, but I am sure that's something I think a lot of people starting out with something like Blender feel. Um, I've done a little 3D modeling in the past, not a ton. I have some experience using something called Blockbench, which I don't know. It's a cube based editing system. Um, you can use it to make like Minecraft skins, but I would use it back in the day to make little 3D models or whatever. I tried to make some characters in it. Um, I made one really infamous character in it that a few people might remember. Um, but yeah, other than that, I don't have a ton of experience with 3D models. But hopefully this will go somewhere. I don't know. This is one of those things I wanted to really have figured out before I started drawing like the more finalized sketches for well wishing. Um, because like I feel like it would help a lot just for consistency. Because I mentioned like the characters, but also when I like drawing locations, I feel like it's a lot better, a lot easier for me if I have a very consistent place to test out the camera like shots that you would see in the comic, test out how the panels look in a different environment. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's easier. I'm telling this out. Maybe it's easier just to draw this all. I don't know, but like I said, I spent all this time, and now I feel like I should probably finish learning Blender, so I can see if this works. Also, I feel like I don't know. I do feel like having a fully modeled version of the city, um, and other locations and well wishing might be beneficial for future projects I may or may not do with the series. Um, I don't know. But that's what I've done today. So yeah. All right. Video done.